pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Commissioner Rich.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Krantz.
Here.
Chairperson Castro.
Here. Commissioners, please review the minutes of August 9th, 2022.
Ms. Chairperson, just for the record, I do not have any blue speaker cards for this meeting.
Thank you. At least I got roll call in the right order this time. Okay, do we have a motion? Mr. Beers? Ms. Beers?
Oh, that's from the last meeting.
That wasn't
Beers?
removed from the
Is there a
last meeting.
Beers in the house?
That was Art Commission, it wasn't
I'm
removed.
like, who is Beers? But they want us to talk. Okay, going back to, do we have a motion to approve the minutes or any additions or changes? Commissioner Krantz?
Motion to approve the minutes from the August 9th meeting?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion carries with 4 yeses and 0 nos.
And we're moving on to number 3, approval of the Park Commission policies and procedures. Thank you, Don.
Good evening. What you guys have in front of you are the newly compiled Park Commission policies and procedures. They number from 1 through 9. So what Ms. Nevers just passed out was the original from our last meeting table of contents. You can find the new table of contents through the 1 through 9 on page 6 of your packet. So to reference those, we move several of the items over to our new cultural facilities curator. So removing anything that had to do with museum, anything related to the museums was moved over to now her scope. So we then narrowed down a little bit more, and we now have the concrete 9 for the Parks Commission. We are looking to the commission this evening to review those, take any time to, if we would like to edit any of those, and asking for any additional if the commission sees needed.
And to clarify a little further, so the reorganization of policies and procedures also comes with the recommendation from a grand jury report received earlier this year that we needed to update all of our policies and procedures. So the yellow ones you see here are the ones that were removed and put individually into the museum policies and procedures. The other policies here that are not highlighted are Parks Department specific and dedicated to either the Director of Parks or the arborist in the Parks Department. The green ones remaining are Park Commission specific, and that's why those were consolidated, reorganized, and you have the new 1 through 9.
How does this relate to the current packet that Mr. Huber gave to us?
This directly adheres to that.
Okay.
One amendment that we,
Well, for example, number 7, was in Huber's for the Park Commission.
That's cultural facilities admission.
Oh, cultural, not park.
Correct.
Oh, well, park usage fees was in Mr. Huber's presentation.
I can pull that policy up.
So was, oh, yeah. As was 24, which is still in our purview. It was park usage fees and park hours. They were all on the same page, I believe, in Mr. Huber's report.
Park hours is separate on this one. It's under item number 24 on the
Original,
original table of contents.
now number 4.
7. Bear with me.
Okay. I remember specifically that park usage fees, someone else on the commission, please help me.
You know what?
Really?
7 is actually a part of that, so we will add that one. This mistakenly says cultural facilities admission, but an updated version says park use fee procedures.
Okay, thank
So
you.
we will add that one back in. Thank you for that catch.
Thank you. Can you please explain number 18?
Yes. 18 is. So 18 is evaluation of landscape, trees, shrubs, and evergreens. And the policy is for the evaluation of landscape, trees, shrubs, and evergreens for insurance purposes or other reasons. The manual proceeds by the International Society of Arboriculture shall be used. The Parks and Trees Department shall have and maintain a current issue of the manual, Evaluation of Trees and Shrubs, produced by the International Society of Arboriculture, and shall use it for determining the value of city trees and shrubs for insurance and other purposes. So,
Okay. And I believe number 32 was also included in Huber's report. Possibly at the recommendation level, not at the authority level that the council has, but I do believe that was something under our purview. I wish I had Huber's report. I have it at home.
I think I have it.
yeah. So this one was rescinded, it looks like in 2010, and that's because an ordinance overrode this item. Rescind with the adoption of the fee waiver ordinance in 2013, excuse me. Because the fee waivers. And let me do a little more background on this one. I
Okay.
apologize for that.
And then I have no idea what cell phone usage means.
That was for city staff,
Ah, okay.
so that's why that one was removed. And a lot of these were lumped together in the past, and I'm not sure why. Under the former Parks and Trees Director, and again, at the request of the grand jury, we're splitting these out and making them individual and more dedicated to departments and commissions.
Thank you. I'm just trying to make Huber's report and this handout that he gave us match all of this.
Certainly.
So, Commissioner Krantz?
So you're on cell phone usage? So I do remember a reference to a request for waiver of park usage fees. Did we decide, is that something that was going to come up as requested? Or that wasn't going to be something just a general?
So the city's ordinance for facility and park fee waiver policy, the responsibility of the fee waivers, reductions, and special considerations are determined by the city administrator or his or her designee, and she shall ensure the department staff follow the procedures set forth in the policy. So it's the responsibility of the city administrator. Even though they're park fees initiated by the park commission, the waiver of those fees is the responsibility of the city administrator.
Okay.
I also think there's some confusion between the Park Commission and the Department of Parks.
Yes, yes. And that's
So this will help
because
clear that up.
this will help clear that up,
Yeah.
yes. And that's really the intent as well, is to remove a lot of that gray area that has existed.
So did we get the detail about cell phone usage? And what
Cell
that
phone
was?
usage was strictly a staff policy,
staff,
so
okay.
that's why that one was removed. That falls under Parks and Trees Department.
All right.
So, yeah,
And I think we also have a little confusion as to the Board of Park Commission shall have power to control and order in the manner in this charter provided the expenditure of all money coming into the park fund or from the sale of bonds, financing the work of the park department to appropriate. So is that the Board of Park Commissioners, or then if further in the sentence, the work of the park department?
the Parks Department, because the general fund budget for parks is established by the Parks Department. A park fund is a separate fund in which monies are deposited into, but no monies have been deposited into that fund.
Should there be?
I don't know that there is a fund currently established. I can request further detail on that.
I don't, Commissioner Krantz?
Oh, sorry, no, I just forgot to remove this one.
I don't want to create extra work for anybody. Does the commission believe that it says the park commission shall have power to control the manner of expenditure of money, that we should maybe look into this park fund thing?
Well, the park fund thing is separate from what we're discussing with policies and procedures. So we would have to agendize that as a separate item. We couldn't take any action on that this evening because it's not on the agenda. It could be a request for a future staff report.
Please, go ahead.
There we go. Can you remind us where the park fund mention is, since it's not in the rules and regulations? I know,
It's in the charter,
thank you, in the charter. That's all.
yeah.
Well, I'd like a report on the fund and how we can get money put into it and how that works.
So I will add that under future staff
Your
reports.
agenda
Thank you.
item.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. This isn't linear by any means. Okay. Do you need, what action do you need from us on this? Anything? Yes, yes.
Can you also tell us how acceptable use is determined in the parks in general? It's not being taken off and it's not included, so I'm assuming it's somewhere else, but I don't know.
Which number?
Number?
It's not, I don't see it at all.
So acceptable, what is
So
deemed
here's an
acceptable use of a
example.
park?
Yeah, so here's an example. There's no dogs allowed at the Sink Park. Who decides, it doesn't look like this commission ever decided those. So who decides the rules at each individual park?
Those rules were previously established, and I'm going to try to pull them up. I believe we have them here. Yeah, the park's rules and regulations, again, were previously established. I'm not quickly coming to them in our municipal code. Mr. Atterbury, do you happen to recall where the park's rules?
Acceptable use.
There we go, I found it.
5.
So the city park use regulations are established in our municipal code under public peace and welfare.
Okay.
It's chapter 9, 430.
That's enough for me.
Okay.
I was assuming it was somewhere, if not on, if it wasn't being removed, so thank you.
No, and there's several ordinances that have been adopted over time that have built those rules and regulations.
So preparing food and selling food during the Salmon Festival or the Feather Fiesta days, if they stand in the gazebo, right? I mean, it's kind of weird. How
Well-
it's food related.
An occurrence must have happened that caused that to be adopted. There's always some incident that takes place that prompts a rule and regulation. But-
This isn't part of it, I know, but is there a plan to replace the plaques that have been stolen or vandalized?
In the past, if we have had what that original plaque and verbiage was, we have replaced it. If we historically have not kept that on record, or if that record has been lost, we try to seek out the family member who may have had a photo of that plaque or remembers what the engraving was, and we try to replace it. We've had to do that with several plaques at the in Sank Park that have been vandalized or stolen, and we've tried to vandal-proof them. I know Wade has come up with many ingenious ideas that our vandals still find a workaround for. So, yeah, it's,
It's that I love you plaque that gets stolen all the time.
where's that one?
It's in the arbor on the right-hand side.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
It's not, yeah. So, I always don't, I don't like to approve anything that's just solid. So it does say that there are some exceptions. So I want to make sure, like, request for use may be made directly to the park commission. So that's pretty much in every policy, almost, or not?
Well, and that's, if it's not specifically for immediate approval of the park commission, then it's been removed. Because once it's put in that other set of policies and procedures, if it comes to the point where park commission approval is needed, then it gets bumped to the park commission. But it's not immediately under that committee's purview, if that makes sense. Otherwise, we're having multiple duplicates of a policy under various committees or departments. Because all of the park commission policies or museum policies that state if council approval would eventually be needed, those policies don't fall under the council's policies and procedures. They're just referenced under the park commission and then sent to council, if that makes sense.
Yep, yep.
Otherwise, it's a lot of paperwork
I know.
everywhere.
So in policy number 9 on flags, the Exchange Club puts up the flags every major holiday along the streets. That's somewhere here and we're okay?
That has,
I can't find it specifically putting them up in a pole on the sidewalk.
That's okay because that has been allowed. It is in the daylight hours. They're not left out in the evening hours where there is not a light shown upon them. It does follow the policy.
And the Liberty Pole. The city owns the Liberty Pole.
Correct.
Although we have the flag and we manage that, so we're good there too?
Yes, to my I wrote that policy, so to my recollection, that one should have all of those referenced. And if it does not, I will bring it back.
Are there any other questions from the commissioners? Thank you. So what action do we need, Dawn?
Just an approval of the policies as presented with the addition of
Number 10.
7.
Oh, sorry. Well, making it number 10.
Oh, making it number
Yes.
10, but 7 from the previous table of contents.
Correct.
So cultural facilities, excuse me. It's not the correct name.
Park usage fees regulations or something like that?
Yeah. Park use fee procedures.
Procedures, okay. Ten.
Right. Do we have a motion?
I second.
All in favor?
Motion carries with 4 yeses and 0 nos.
Administration reports.
Okay. I wanted to update you all on the status of Hewitt Park. They are still currently, and I mean Melton Design Group is currently obtaining final bids for all of the components of the park expansion. Once they complete all of those, then they will put it out for RFP to find a contractor for the construction of the park. That RFP will go out at the beginning of the year with awards being presented in spring and groundbreaking May, June, July, depending on how things go. So that project is still moving along quite nicely. Also, we have the Sank Park fence update. We presented to council. The council wanted a more visual presentation, so I've been working with the 2 bidders for the fence designs on providing me with elevations or renderings to provide a more visual presentation to council. We are going to be bringing that back to city council on November 15th for a final presentation and approval of a design. Hopefully we'll get that project rolling soon.
I was out of town for that meeting, so lost track, so forgive me. One price was so low and one price was so high.
And
Is
that's
there a
because,
reason on the
yes,
design?
there is a reason. The price that was low was because the bidder had presented prefabricated fence panels. So it was not the custom design that the various commissions and council had come to an agreement on. The high bidder for the $566,000 was a fully custom fence exactly as requested by the 2 commissions and the council. It also had the dusk to dawn hardware, so we would have that hard closure in the evening hours. So that was a fully responsive bid, and the other lower bid was not deemed fully responsive, but the council still wanted to weigh in and on that bid as an option.
And panels meaning panels, not,
Panels.
so it would be completely enclosed?
Still be complete, oh, no. Panels, sections of fencing.
Fence panels.
So not a panel, a solid panel?
Not a solid panel at all.
Okay,
No.
okay,
No.
okay.
A
Yeah.
prefab.
Yep, prefabricated.
That one would still have the dusk to dawn?
They
or
did not
the
provide
locking?
that. They did not provide that in their bid.
And wasn't that something we wanted?
Yes.
Okay, okay, all right, thank you.
Also with our Ishii Monument up Oral Quincy Highway. So it's not a park because it's a right-of-way strip, but it has a California Historic Landmark, number 809 on it, commemorating Ishii, the last Yanni Indian. And so as an opportunity, we were approached by the Native Sons of the Golden West, and as a mechanism to, I'll back up. We were approached so that they could make some updates and beautification to that right-of-way strip as an alternative mechanism for them to adopt that location. We presented them with the Adopt a Park application. It's not designated as a park, so we're going to take it to council for approval, but I'm bringing it to you for transparency so that you know that this location is going to be adopted and taken care of into the future. And they've already been working with Mr. Atterbury to clear some of the invasive eucalyptus trees, and they'll be making some beautification improvements at that location. On our backlog activity report that you had just received from Ms. Daly, we went through the Adopt a Park. We have not received any other applications for our other parks. We're still hoping that we will, especially when spring comes in, people get reignited to want to do more in the parks. And we'll fly it again at that point, probably February, March, when the weather is going to start warming again. For vandalism, again, that's an annual report. Website updates are occurring regularly. I did receive word, Chairperson Castro, about your designation on the website that has been updated.
Thank you.
And I provided you an update on Hewitt Park Phase 2. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I think there are several groups that are really excited about the Adopt a Park program, so we'll be coming to you on how the city can provide resources to help us with that.
Okay.
Bags and picker-upper sticks, and the Eagles want to help the Exchange Club do Bedrock.
Okay.
But we do need some resources on supplies.
And
to
we
make
do provide resources for, like when people adopt a road, the bags and the picker-upper sticks. I think that's something that we can have a bundle of them available for when those park events, cleanup events are scheduled.
Thank you.
So we just want to make sure that they're scheduled on opposing weekends so that the picker-upper sticks are not in high demand on the same weekend.
Okay, I can help you with that.
Okay.
Where's my Portland Lou?
Oh, that was my other, thank you. Wade reminded me today and I forgot to write it down. The engineering is complete. Our city engineer is reviewing the contract engineering, and once he deems that acceptable to publish for an RFP, it'll go out for the RFP. We have received the Portland Loos. They're still sitting in the corporation yard. We just need to publish that request for proposal so that the underground and facility component can be constructed.
Okay. I want my name on a plaque on that one.
Kay's Lou.
Kay's Lou. Kay's Lou. All righty then. Do we need approval on any of this, or are we good?
No, we are all good.
Commission reports. Or Wade. Wade report.
Just a couple things. We've been pretty busy in the parks, just with the mowing and the irrigation and things like that. I did have a interesting and good conversation with our recycling team. We have a recycling coordinator and a contracted employee right now for that, and I had a good meeting with them. They're going to go after some grant dollars for new drinking fountains and recycling cans and things for the parks and for the downtown area. So that was, anytime we can get grant dollars for those items, it's always a good thing. So that was a good meeting. So they're going after some money for that. And then you may have seen, but the council decided to release another tree RFP. So we've got 3 quotes for that. That'll be going back to council to help out with the city trees, including the trees in the parks. So park department's still down a couple employees, but we're actively seeking, and we are retaining the employees we have. So that's always good because we had quite a bit of turnover this last year or so. So retaining is a good thing. So that's about all I have.
Commissioner Krantz.
So during the Art Commission meeting, just prior to this meeting, we had a presentation from Beatrice LaFleche. She's the executive director of BAMA, Butte Artists Mural Association. And she gave us a really nice presentation, explanation of how artists price their murals. She gave us some interesting statistics about Butte County Google stats and how that shows that public art is number 9 in the mentions. She gave some ideas for themes and locations to consider and dividing city funds where maybe the city handles some of the preparation of wall space and just how to recruit local talent and teach local artists maybe how to budget for those kinds of projects. Their website is butttemurals.org, and it's a very eye-catching, very modern-looking website. I really liked it. We also discussed some different ideas for our NOFA funding, how to maybe incorporate different mediums, some live performance, possibly a reception event for some local artists, maybe some creative writing projects, some poetry. And then we also found out about the Caltrans funding for metal sculptures that will be on the intersections of 162 and Oro Dam and on 70 and Montgomery Street. And we saw some really nice pictures of what that could potentially look like. I hope maybe we'll get to see those again during a future meeting.
We're hoping to have proposals.
That's terrific. I'd love to see a mural on the levee at Bedrock Park,
Okay.
if we can. I don't know if we can or not.
down.
I don't know who owns it. I don't know.
We own it.
But wouldn't that be cool to try to upgrade that park?
Okay, I'll present that next meeting.
Anyone else? Okay. I'm very excited. Every time I see that park truck driving around, I wave. Very excited, and I see a lot of work being done, so I'm personally very grateful for that. And I know we've talked about this before, Dawn,
Yes.
but your Measure U dollars at work, your tax dollars at work, there were some signs or some billboards. Are you still doing those?
Yeah, we have decals on the equipment that we've purchased with the Measure U dollars and all the city vehicles. So yes, those are still.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. Atterbury, for that idea.
Pardon? Right? No, I think it's great. Thank you. Future agenda items. I think we have the one of the park fund understanding. Anything else? Okay. With that, we will adjourn our meeting at, whatever time it is. Pick a time.
5:49.
5:49.
That's what my computer says.
I like these short.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.